to Tea Time with Bunky. This is Message. Hi, Dan. All right.
Welcome to Tea Time with
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky.
This is super recent.
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. I missed you guys. I really did. Hi, everybody. Well, for those that come in, welcome to Tea Time with Bunky, special Mother's Day edition with my co-host, co-host Shirley Felder, CIO of Ordinary Greatness. We don't have nobody in yet, but we will. I would like to thank all of my Tea Time with, I'm getting all this stuff together. Thank all of my Tea Time with Bunky followers and subscribers. For those that have been on this journey from the beginning, thank you for taking this ride with me. I appreciate you so very much. For all of the new viewers, new subscribers, welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. You can catch Tea Time with Bunky every Thursday on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. For all of those that are viewing now from Instagram, please, I'm asking you to jump over to YouTube, follow my YouTube page. That way, I can see your comments so you can interact. So that's every Thursday live, streaming live on those three platforms. And then you can catch the re-air. I'm going to bring Shirley out until she come back. Then you can catch the re-air on the Village Global Network app, the VGN app, which is free, you guys. It's free. You can download it. And Thursdays at 8 a.m., you can catch me on Culture Shock Radio, Radio Roxbox, Radio Facetto, Wapter Music FM, and on Sundays at 12 p.m. on Confidence Radio. I know that's a lot. Just download the VGN app. It's free. And then you can find me on there. We air in 192 countries, you guys. 192 countries. Applaud. So thank you all. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you to everyone who submitted your videos. We will be playing those. Thank you so much for making this Mother's Day, pre-Mother's Day episode super special to me with my co-host. I have a straight co-host tonight, Miss Shirley Ann Fleder. Hey, Shirley.
Hey. What's going on?
Look, I didn't even change it. I'll be doing the most. I thought it's been a day. I didn't even put the other stuff up. So don't worry about it because I didn't change it. How are you doing?
I am good. I'm super duper good. You know why?
Why are you good?
The sun has been out. And
yes.
Yeah, and I started my
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Same to you. I started this season out up on my favorite place yesterday. I went live up on Cragsmore Mountain with that beautiful sunset. Yes. I absolutely love that spot. Mm-hmm. I just love it.
It's beautiful, you guys. But if you're scared of heights, it's really not the place to be. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful scenery. Like I had said, VGN is over 192 countries. And listen, this is why I look. This is a fun fact right here. VGN people, let me know if I'm wrong. I might be. I don't know. But when I looked up where Mother's Day is celebrated, because everybody doesn't celebrate American holidays, same American holidays. Well, apparently, Mother's Day is celebrated on the second Tuesday of every May in over 50 countries. So I'm sure those are VGN countries. I'm almost sure that we got Australia, Denmark, Finland, Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, Belgium, US. We celebrate it. Hey, Bronze, how you doing? Happy Mother's Day. So I'm excited, and I'm let me draw it in. I be doing the most. Mother's Day is special. It's special. A lot of people don't celebrate because I'm like, I'm supposed to be celebrated every day, but it's a special day. Thank God for the special day. The special day that's given to us. Let me ask you, Shirley.
Yes.
Are you doing anything special for Mother's Day for you?
I'm sorry. I just moved some stuff here, y'all. So I'm actually going away, and I am treating myself
Okay.
to a nice 5-hour ride.
Oh,
And it's a
Lord.
surprise to where I'm going because they don't know I'm coming.
Okay.
So I'm going to treat myself to a nice 5-hour drive,
Okay.
and I'm going to see some family,
Okay.
and I'm going to see some old friends, and they don't know I'm coming. But this is
Okay.
for me because I have not been doing a whole bunch of fun stuff. I've been working.
Yeah.
Who wants to work?
I don't know. But I'm doing something for me
Yeah, tell them what you're doing. Tell them what you're doing.
the day. I am so excited. So excited. I am going to get lightheaded. The Michael Jackson musical on Broadway in New York City on Saturday.
You don't have a glove on right now?
No, and you know what? I got to pull down my Michael Jackson box. I got to get my Michael Jackson box to get my buttons and stuff for the show on Saturday. Look, I'm lightheaded, but I have to remind myself, Bunk, this really isn't Michael. But
Listen,
this isn't
y'all,
Michael.
since she was little, I'm telling y'all
Yes.
right now, day one, since she was little, it was all about Michael.
And look, and I'm grown now. I'm grown now. But you know what? But before we even get into the Mother's Day stuff, I would like to. How about we show a video? Let's start this off with one of
Let's
the.
start it off.
Let's start this off. Like I said, thank you for those that submitted a video, and you'll see that I put like two together. Some of them I put two together or whatever. So here is video number one. You guys enjoy.
Hey y'all, just wanted to say happy Mother's Day to everybody and hope you enjoy your day. Love you.
Shanice calling from South Fallsburg, New York. And I just want to say happy Mother's Day to my mother, Janice Mack, and my sister, Monique Mack, and all my cousins, all my aunts, everybody. And y'all better say happy Mother's Day to me too, because I got a whole dog at home. So say happy Mother's Day.
She said I got a whole dog at home.
But you know what? Shout out to the doggy parents, because she really is Stone's mother, and he acts like that's his mother. Thank you to Mark. Thank you to Mark from North Carolina for submitting that Mother's Day, and Miss Shanice Mack from New York for submitting that.
She's so crazy.
Have to start off with that. But let me do my quick happy Mother's Days. Happy Mother's Day to my mother. I got a list. My mother, my stepmother, my daughter-in-law, my granddaughter's mother, my aunts, my sisters, my cousins, my friends, all the ladies in my life, all the ladies around the world. Happy Mother's Day from Bunky. I appreciate you all, everything you have done for me, because you have all molded me to who I am, and hopefully I was an inspiration to some of the younger people in my life. That makes any sense. The way I mothered. Hopefully some people mirrored me. Hopefully I did some things right. How about that?
What do you
So
mean?
that's my mother shout out.
What do you mean? Hopefully you did some things right.
I mean, because our kids are
None of your boys are in prisons, in drugs in the streets, robbing places, disrespecting people.
right, but
so you did a great job. Period.
Yeah.
Amen. That's all. I rest my
Period,
case, Your Honor.
But that and I want to apologize to my oldest, because he was my trial and error baby. You know, the first one is a trial and error because you don't know.
You can't apologize. You don't have to apologize to him.
I know, but I be feeling
He got
bad.
so much love.
Yes,
He got so much love.
he's the sweetest.
He would come to my door and drop them Pampers. Are you kidding me? He got so much love and forgiveness. Ah, that boy.
What about your Mother's Day, Shirley? Any special shout outs to anybody?
So I do want to shout out some very special people. And, remember, when we talk about Mother's Day, there's, people who are in that position, right? They may not be your blood parent
Yes.
or guardian. So I want to give a shout out to my Aunt Victoria, who stepped in when I was 12 years old, only for 1 month, and my mother died. And I was 11, and then I turned 12, and 31 days later, she passed away. And then my Aunt Victoria agreed to take me and raise me, and I moved to Washington, D.C. And I was not easy. She was tough. Woo, she was tough. But I was not easy because I was just angry to everyone who wasn't Maddie Mae, my mother. And it wasn't their fault. It was just the anger I had. So I want to say happy Mother's Day to Aunt Victoria. And then I had a lot of special teachers. A lot of special teachers who along the way, just kind of knew that I was like a little angry little girl. And they had patience and kindness, and they were like surrogate mothers to me. They looked out for me. They kept me out of trouble. They kept my head focused and things like that. And so my favorite teacher is Frau Deichma, and she was my German teacher from the 9th to the 12th grade. And she was like a surrogate mom to me. So I really appreciate her. And then I had some older cousins. Every now and then they would give me advice, and their names are Shirley Ann's too. So I so appreciate them. For stepping in and being the big cousins, but they were still like big sisters, big moms,
big cousins. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and I want to say happy Mother's Day to my daughter. She has 2 kids, and she could be angry at the world at me, but I could give a rat's patoot. She is a good mom, and she takes good care of her kids. And she moved to North Carolina, broke my heart, but the kids she made that move for those kids, and that's what a mom does. Right. She makes those moves and takes those chances. So those are my Mother's Day shout out. And he's not listening, but I would say a happy Mother's Day to my brother. You know how sometimes as women, we be like, oh, and happy Father's Day to me because I raised my kid by myself kind of thing. Right.
Yes.
So my brother, I'm going to say happy Mother's Day to my brother, James, because when my mom passed away, he stepped in and made for sure that I had everything I needed. Right up to the point of when I had my daughter, he was there for me as well. So I used to tell people he's my mother, my brother, my big brother, my father, and he was my all. So happy Mother's Day to him too. He raised a lot of children.
Okay. See, you gave names. I ain't give names because you know what? It was just too many, and I don't want anybody feeling any kind of way. So I just named them.
They could feel any kind of way.
Yeah.
They can call me, and then I'll tell them.
It's never personal. And for all of those people out there who are missing their moms, it's going to be a hard, like to you, Shirley, and a lot of people whose moms are no longer here. Like special shout out to my grandmothers, longer here, but they're always with us because they implanted something in us. So so happy heavenly Mother's Day to those mothers as well. Now, okay, wait, celebrate. Look, I gotta go over my notes. What I found about motherhood, because you're gonna do yours, you do all your stuff, but before we get into it, what I found about motherhood, something that says motherhood isn't just about giving birth, it's an inherent instinct to love unconditionally. That's the key words, unconditional love. Even when they stress you all the way out, you still love them. You love them unconditionally. You care for them, to protect at all costs. I am hard for mine, and I know you hard for yours. I'm hard for mine. So protect at all costs, to nurture and to watch them grow and blossom. So that's what I found on motherhood. And the loving unconditionally, protecting at all costs. Like that's what, when I think of a mother, that's really what I think of. Like we are when they say mother bears, that's what we are,
When we talk about mothers, right? I often think of the analysis of when the example of when a car was on a child, and this woman lifted the car up.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
When it comes to ours, right. And now, first, let me say, not everybody's meant to be a mother, right?
Right. Not every person. Yeah.
Not everybody's meant to be a mother, not hating or anything. It's just
Right.
not what they good at, right? It's
Right.
just not what
Right.
they good at.
They're
But if
better at aunties and cousins. That's
right,
what they're
but they
better
have
at.
people. That's why it takes a community, right? So they have
Right.
people around that to help them. But I often think of that story when the mother lift that car off
Yeah.
her baby. Now you know the average human being can't lift a car,
No.
but when your child is in danger, those
Yeah.
instincts kick in. And I remember when my kids were going to school, because remember, I had my daughter, I raised my stepdaughter, I raised my niece,
Yeah,
and
I forgot to mention that.
raised,
Foster parents.
right,
And yes.
and I raised 4 boys. So I raised 7 kids, but I only birthed 1.
Mm.
And so there's an instinct that you have when you birth them, but there's an instinct that you have when you love them. Once you say they are my babies, it's over. It's a wrap.
Hey, Leslie. Yes.
Yes, it's a wrap. Once you
It's
say
a
they
wrap.
are my babies, it's
Yeah.
a wrap,
It's a
right?
wrap.
And so I used to have to go to the school and explain to folks, you're not going to talk to my boys that way. You're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. And that is our job unconditionally. And I used to tell my kids, listen, I don't care. I don't want you to do wrong. I taught you to do right. But if you do wrong, here's the deal. You better tell me the truth so that I can represent you properly.
Yeah. Right.
Right. And
Right.
so that's when you know you love your kids, when you don't go to school and say, oh, not to say my kids this, I'm just giving an example. Oh, you stole something.
Right. Yeah. We don't do that. We don't do that in front of the company. We handle that when we
Right. Police officer, but when we get home, we'll handle it. But right now,
we're united front. We're united front.
And so that's the thing. Like, they have to know that you support them no matter what, because they're children. We don't know, but what's right and wrong. We have an idea, right? And so it's our job as mothers. Once we say that's mine, then you treat them like it's yours. You treat them like it's yours.
Absolutely. And that's what we do. How about we take another video break? Want to take another video?
Let's do another video.
Let me get there. Okay.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Love you. Appreciate you. Love the show. Continue being great. Happy Mother's Day.
Hey, this is Lindy from the Rec Center. I just wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to my mother, Annie, and Happy Mother's Day to my abuela. I love you guys.
Her abuela.
My abuela.
I was trying to figure out how to say mothers in other languages, and I think for Lindy saying that because abuela's grandmother.
Right.
You have your phone by the computer or something? By a speaker?
No.
Yeah. Like, what's that noise? I hear noise, and I found that when that's normally the case, it's from outside, it's due to some sort of a device.
Nope. I even turned my fan off because I thought it was loud.
Okay, I don't know what that is. You hear?
That was my first episode cup.
And that was when Tea Time looked another way.
Yeah.
And I don't even have a cup. I don't have a cup.
It's all good.
Yeah, I don't know what that noise is.
I don't know because I don't have anything on. Let me see if I mute.
I can't hear you.
Did the sound go away though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Who cares? Okay, so let's get back to that video right there. That first guy was my son. It was, thank you, Jay. I'm like, there's no, it was hard to get him to do it. Why are boys so difficult? I'm a boy mom. You're a girl mom.
Yeah, but he's a middle boy. He's a middle boy too.
Yeah.
He's a middle boy too.
And you guys that
no, he ain't the baby. He act like the baby.
He might. I don't know. They all act so differently. They all act. But we're gonna talk about my boys, and we're gonna. This is the Mother's Day thing, you guys. I was a young mom, right? I tell people all the time I was a young mom. I had my oldest son when I was 19. And Shirley was my neighbor. And I got to watch firsthand what it was like to raise a toddler. toddler while I had a newborn. And I have to say, we were talking about mothering. I have to tell you that watching you with this little girl, you showed me patience. You showed me, I'm talking about with your daughter, like this is what I'm watching. You showed me that unconditional love, how you loved her. She mirrored everything you did. Like you had to, I'm a walker person that likes to walk in the house. Couldn't walk in your house. You could not just walk into your house. And I say that to say, when I say she mirrored you, you guys, you would walk in. Shirley had this thing with her. Well, she didn't like to put clothes on. So you walk into the house. But that's neither here nor there. That's your business. Those are your doors, your walls. But what I'm saying is, I saw how, and you were young too. You were young. You weren't as young as me, but you were young also. But I watched how protective you were, how you did everything with her. So I watched a little girl get manicures, and I had never had one. And she was getting them. I'm like, that's what a mother does. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for showing me. Hey, Sean, I ain't show your video yet. You are all by yourself. Because you were a whole production. You were a whole production. So thank you for that. I'm gonna let you talk. Let you talk now.
So I'll say thank you for that, because I often, my work is with women. And I often tell them, you never know who's watching. Not that you need to be fake or phony. You need to be true to yourself, but you never know who's watching. So I honestly, when Jasmine,
hey Janet,
hey Janet, mwah, when I had Jasmine, I thought I was a horrible mother.
Really?
Oh my God, I did, because because of what I went through as a child, I didn't want to have a child to go through anything hard.
Right.
And I didn't want to be responsible for those things, right? Because it's a lot of responsibility being a parent.
Yes, God.
And so I thought I was a horrible mom, because when she was a baby, I used to push her belly and see if it'll fill back up, because people say, listen, they say, don't pick up the baby, you're gonna spoil them. All the crazy stuff people tell you. I put my hand near her nose, see if she was breathing, because I was always afraid she wasn't gonna breathe, because when she was, I would push her belly and watch that baby fill right back up. Oh, is she breathing?
Okay, because I was gonna say, why did you do
sure it fills back up with air? She's breathing. Okay. So I did all of those things. And then when she was a baby and didn't talk, it was emotionally hard for me, because babies don't communicate. That's why I say not everybody's meant to be a mother.
Okay. They're not.
I was 21.
Okay.
And so for me, when she started to communicate and say, and give me, I was like, yes, I have a human, because her not using words, because she couldn't, she's just a baby, was very difficult for me to read through those emotions, because as a kid, I had to grow up very fast. And I was around boys, so they would roughhouse me and all kinds of stuff. And my mother was living her life, working 2-3 jobs. Sometimes you become a workaholic, you miss some parts in your children's lives, and that was part for me too. I worked a lot, putting this business together and doing other things. But anyway, so back to the motherhood thing. So when she turned 2, I was in heaven. You remember, every Sunday, 6 hours, braiding her hair, putting them beads in her hair. I would go shopping to Amesway. And I would go and I would get matching colors. So if I wore yellow, she wore yellow. For years, she wouldn't even wear a dress when she became a teenager, because I had her in dresses her entire life as a child. So I dressed her like me, and I wanted her like me, and all of those things. I tried to get her in sports like me, all kinds of things. And so, but I really thought I wasn't a good mom until I would go around other kids, and their moms would be like, "Oh my God, Jasmine is such a good girl.
She's so well behaved."
And and she doesn't talk back. She makes up for it now, but back then she didn't talk back. So they said, "Oh, and she doesn't talk back." And there were times that Jasmine would warn her friends, my mother's on her way. You better not talk to your mother like that around my mother. And I used to be a Girl Scout,
A
a help.
leader?
Yeah, yeah. No, I just would go chaperone. I would
Oh,
whatever they went to, I would
I
chaperone.
knew.
Yeah,
Right.
I would chaperone. And one time her girlfriend Donna said something to her mother disrespectful.
Uh-oh.
She leaned over and she said, and I heard her, but I was trying to mind my business for once. And she said, "You better be lucky my mother didn't hear you. You better not say that again." And she was like, blah, 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 blah. She went back at her mother and I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, let's correct that."
Mm-mm.
And her mother came over and gave me a hug and said, "Thank you." Right. So one part of that made me angry that she needed someone else to say it. But you don't know people's situation. So I was happy to be
Yeah.
there to help. But that I don't want to go off the beaten path, but that is what allowed me to know that I was doing the right thing by her. And then when I brought in the other kids, she was a little angry because now they're stealing her mother's time.
Right, because she was the only child.
She was the
Right.
only child. And then my stepdaughter came. So Jazz was 4 when my stepdaughter came. And then Sandy came, my niece Sandy came. And so at least she had a big sister. Those 2
Right.
are very close. They're all very close. All my girls are very close. But it was a gradual change to learn how to be a mother, adding in all of these personalities and characters and attitudes and life experiences because the boys went through a rough thing as children, right? And there was all kinds of things going on that it's like juggling a ball. You don't know what's happening each day. So taking on, like I said, when you say that those are my babies, you
Right.
better mean it. You better mean it because
Right.
they're precious and you got to do your best with them. And again, it's tough, but there's rules and there's some guidelines that we have to follow that our kids get angry. And mothers and daughters, whoo, the ones that have a great relationship, God bless you. God bless you. You're a blessing and you're a miracle because a lot of mothers and daughters don't get along until they're about in their 20s and 30s. And there's a lot of conflict. It's such a hot topic. I have
Mhm.
some friends who have great relationships with their children, and then I have some friends who have some turmoil,
The rough ones. Right.
real rough ones. And so it's not easy. There's no book, there's no it's trial and error, and we do the best we can as parents, and we hope and pray that they turn out right.
And you did it starting off with one and then gradually introducing others. Well, I can say mine were stair steps. Boom, boom, boom. My oldest and my middle is like maybe 14 months apart. And then my oldest from my youngest is 5 years apart. And my middle from my youngest is 3 years apart. So I had all of my fellas young. By the time I was 24, I had 3 kids. But you know what? You know what? I can honestly say with everything in me that I think I am who I am because of them. I love those. I don't think they know. I don't
Yeah,
think they really grasp how much I love them. Like I'm that mom that calls grown men and be like, "Why didn't you pick up the phone?" They'll be like, "Yo, mom, why you FaceTiming me? I'm at work because I need to see your face." But I
they
just need to
know.
know you're. I need to know you're okay because when I talk about how they were my identity, it's not that they just were my identity. And sometimes it may seem like I had a problem because I didn't have my own identity. But let me tell you something. I wouldn't trade being a young mom, not encouraging it, but I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change my fellas for nothing in this world. And like you said, I didn't realize, I used to think I was doing everything wrong, because they outnumbered me. They totally outnumbered me, right? And when I would hear from other parents how well behaved they were. I'm like, really? They were like really little monsters in the house, like they drive me crazy, but you hear that I've had parents tell me that they would only let my boys stay at their house because of the way they behave. It makes their child act in a certain way. And I'm like, really? My boys? So and now I see it in the men that they are, so so I just had to give a shout out to my fellas because they are, hi Tiffany,
I tip
they are the light of my lives. Yeah, get on your son have forever I roll. My boy, they better not roll their eyes. They better not.
was too funny. But
But
you
you know
know,
what? Go
your
ahead.
your boys, right? And I'm not saying this because they're my babies, but your boys, whenever I bump into them, and I'd be like, "What's mama doing?" Mama, she's so crazy. She's scared of everything, but I love my mama. They tell me all the time how much they love you.
Really?
They tell me all the time how much they love you, all the time. And I'm looking at that sign behind you, and at your birthday party,
Oh, yeah.
I remember Jay looked over and he said, "Look at my mama. Ain't she beautiful?" And I was like, "Boy, shut up." Yeah, he said, "Look at my mama. Ain't she beautiful?" And then when Kenny came in, Kenny came prancing in later, gave me a hug,
You
and
always
he's
late.
like, "Look at Bunky over there. She thinks she cute." And I said, "And?" He said, "Yes, she is." So they tell, I don't bump into Russ all the time because he be working everywhere. But
Yeah.
but I bump into the other two all the time. And they always tell me. And even if you were an innocent bystander at that party and they didn't know anybody there, they knew that there was a connection with the three of you, of the four of you, based on how y'all had y'all little dance, and how when you went to go do something, they just gathered in, right? And Russell like kept the peace with everything and kept everybody in order, and he would call everybody in order and come on, and
Yeah.
you could tell, though, you could tell how they were raised from afar, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Those are my dudes. I love them. Let's do on that note. Let's do another video.
Okay.
And this one had to be in the class all by. It's a whole production. It's a whole production. So you guys, here's another Mother's Day video.
Cultural entertainment, sucker.
What up, Bunky? You already know what it is. DJ Wreck Boys Shot, one half of the Wreck Boys, in the studio with the Wreck Boys. But check this out. I'm here to shout out my mama. That's right, the beautiful Ruth Annette Kirk. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you. You're the best. Without you being who you are, I wouldn't be able to be who I am today. So I thank you, and happy Mother's Day. I love you. Happy Mother's Day, Bunk, and all the Tea Timers out there. Make sure you guys go like, subscribe, and follow Tea Time with Bunky. Alright? Love you, Bunk. Happy Mother's Day. Easy.
Cultural entertainment, sucker.
I love Shot. He's a whole vibe. Shout out to the studio with the Wreck Boys, my podcast brothers, little brothers. I got to meet the other. I got to meet Chris last week at the 1 year anniversary to the rec center's grand opening, and it was amazing. It was like we knew each other, and I got shout out to Gabe who was on. I got to meet them, my podcast brothers. But Shot, no, that was really that was a whole production.
Well, that's what they do, right?
That's what they
That's what they
do.
do.
That's what they do. So
do.
see Shot, yeah.
Hey, Shad. Hey, Tim.
Oh, my man, yeah, they are. Okay, so we talked about the goodness of being a parent, some of the goodness of being a parent. What is there were things, motherhood isn't all good. I mean, it is. I mean, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. But I want to ask you something.
Okay.
What do you think made you be the mother that you are? Because we all have our own parenting styles. Like when you were a little girl or a young person before, because you were, I mean, like I know your story. You wasn't expecting to have a baby.
Absolutely not.
Jazz was a hello.
Absolutely not.
Thank God for the hello. But when you
first, I was told I could never have children. So not only was she a hello, she was a what? Hello?
And she was a blessing to all those women out there who the doctors or whatever nature's trying to tell you that it can't happen for you. Let me tell you, it can happen. Shirley's a living example. And you can also go out there. There's children that need homes, be it fostering or adoption. There's ways. And you know what? This is crazy. because this had nothing to do with it. Like instantly came in my mind the Roe v. Wade mess. Politics always jump. I don't want to talk about it, but I just want to say, you guys, when y'all go out there and vote, look and see what these politicians are talking about with this Roe v. Wade. Because at the end of the day, it is your decision if you want to be a mother or you don't.
I love the fact that you say you're not a politician. I love it. I just love it. Even though you have a political show during the election season,
it stresses me out.
Well,
but it just came up. What was your blueprint?
So for me, I didn't have a blueprint, but here's what I had. Okay. And this is going to be interesting. And I did not know I was going to talk about this or say this part right now.
Conversation, tea time.
But it was absolutely fear. Fear is what made me the mother that I was.
Really?
And yeah, I was scared to death. And I learned this, doing the work that I do with women. Sometimes we deal with trauma, things that we've gone through as a child.
Wow. Yeah.
That mess us up. And so I have a very dear friend that I'm looking forward to working with in the future. And we had a session and he found out some stuff about me that I didn't know. And I've been doing personal development work for 31 years. And so like he took 2 pitchforks, a shovel and a backhoe, dug up some stuff for me. And I was like, what no, that can't be. And we started talking some more and some more. And what I realized is that I'm sure Jazz has like whatever the illness is for hovering mother, because I wouldn't let her breathe without me.
Helicopter. You were a helicopter mom?
There you go. Because 1, she was a girl. 2, they said I couldn't have any kids. And here I have 1. So she's the only one that I was allowed to bring into this world. And so it was my job to protect her. Any means necessary.
Right.
Any means necessary. And so I was afraid that I might lose her. I lost my father left, my mother left. I left my brothers. Everything is leaving me. Right. And that's the kind of trauma thing that Coach Spoonface brought up for me. He was like, you have the fear of people leaving you. And so you're always trying to make peace, connect people, make everybody happy, and he's like, that wasn't your fault. Those people leaving, your mother dying wasn't your fault. Your father leaving wasn't your fault. And so for me, my fear was that something bad would happen to her. And something bad happened to me and I wasn't protected. So I needed to protect her as much as I possibly could. And then the other thing was like, it was so funny. I was afraid of her. I did not believe in the beginning I was mom material, to be honest. And then here I am raising 7 kids, right? And then all their friends call me Ma or Big Ma Shirley or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So she was this tiny little thing. Like, what was I supposed to do with that? Honestly, that's how I looked at it. She was this tiny little thing. And then as she started to grow, she started to look like me.
Just like you
and everything. And I was with someone the other day and she's like, oh my God, I now know for sure that Jasmine is your child. Now, Jasmine's probably squirming if she's looking at this right now, right? But she's my child.
Yeah.
Now,
everything.
He looks a lot like her dad. He's just dark skinned, but she's my child, right? Down to many things, right? Uh-huh. And so for me, it was just important to protect her. For, my mom went through some things. So I didn't always look the best kept, right? Jasmine's hair got done 6 hours. She has her hair. See how long my hair is right now? Her hair was longer than this when she was 6'5", 6'4". And I would braid her hair and put them little beads in it. I just wanted her to go out there looking proper, clean, neat, and protected.
Right.
So the only people that ever babysat her was my brother's best friend, Max and Kathy, my brother James, and my brother Morris. And then Nicole, who was like a little sister to me, Nicole Dungy, watched her. And Buffy, her sister. That was it. Nobody else was allowed around her as a child. I wasn't playing that. So everything was about protecting her and keeping her safe. And that's what made me the mother that I was. And I know the rules were tough. You went to a friend's house. I drove you. I wanted to meet the mother. I wanted to know who's there.
It's not tough. That's not. To them, it is.
Right. For kids, it is because these are rules and boundaries and guidelines to protect them.
Right.
So that's why moms and daughters, it's hard for them to get along until about their 20s, till they start to grow up a little and be like, dang, that's why mama did that. All right, all right, mama wasn't crazy. She wasn't mean kind of thing, but it takes them a little while to register if you don't have that good relationship.
Mhm. Yeah, because sometimes it never registers.
Yeah, they don't come with a book. They don't come with
Yeah.
a book, ingredients, nothing. But and then when I got my niece, it was the same thing. I wasn't gonna let anyone violate her.
Right.
Right? And then my stepdaughter, same thing. You're not going anywhere unless I'm taking you or your father's taking you. My boy, I was a little bit looser with the boys because they were boys and I got them older.
Okay.
I was a little bit looser with the boys.
And that's crazy. Well, it's not crazy, but that you were so protective of Jazz, but looser with the boys.
Yeah,
And
Jazz, Sandy, and Alexis, they could barely breathe.
now, see, I was tight like that with my boys. I didn't have girls until now.
Right. My boys are, 6'4", 6'3". They were big boys, right? And them girls used to chase them, and it was a heck of a time. Let me tell you, I learned so much. I did not let my kids sleep over to other people's house.
Yeah.
They could
They
sleep
could sleep
over
over
our
our
house,
house,
but
but
my
kids
kids
could
were
not.
not going
Hello,
nowhere.
Leslie. That's how we grew up. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It was hard for me to let her stay somewhere. It was so hard. But we would argue and she was so angry. And I was like, you have to play that give and take a little bit because everybody's doing it, right? And if everybody would jump off the bridge, you're gonna jump off the bridge too. You got another video?
Well, absolutely, they are. Well, yeah. Did you just ask me if I had a video?
Yeah, I want you to play another video because this stuff can be emotional.
Yeah. I was just waiting for you to finish.
I'm done. Let's get on. Let's watch a video.
Here's another video submission, you guys.
Hey, Mom, I just want you to know that I love you. I appreciate you for all that you've done, every sacrifice that you made, every tear you had to cry on my behalf. I appreciate you. I love you. Happy Mother's Day.
Hi everybody, this is Dawn from Sullivan County, wishing my mom Sue a very happy Mother's Day, and my sister Lisa also a very happy Mother's Day, and my stepdaughter Jenna in Hawaii, happy Mother's Day. To all the beautiful mamas out there, happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Tea Time with Bunky. Happy Mother's Day. Mwah.
That's
cool. I would like to thank Dawnie because she was so nervous. And for those that don't know her, she is really coming out of her box. I guess being around me, I'm like,
look at there. Look at there. Look at there.
And I appreciate from Apostle Q's video, when she said to her mother, all the tears you've cried for me. When she said that, oh my God, I can honestly say, we cry good tears, we cry bad tears, we cry for no reason. When I say cry for no reason, I'm coming now as a boy mom, right? As a boy mom. I don't know how this, like I said, raising a daughter, but I know when we have our sons, those are our loves. They're always going to be our love. Well, some, maybe not for everybody. I can speak for my boys. They're my loves, right? And when they get in relationships, it's hard. But there was something about, he may kill me for this one, and she probably like, Bunk, I know you didn't share that, but I have to because this is the mother I am. Now, when my baby, because he's the baby, right? Because he's the baby, and I have such a relationship with them. I remember when they were away, when they were at college, she was away, he was home, because I made him go after trial and error with the first two. I was like, no, you're going to do your first two at county college, community. And then after you finish that, then you can go away, right? So I made him do his first two here, which he's thankful for now. But while she was away, these two used to go to sleep on video, right? Go to sleep and wait. I'm like, what is going on here, right? And I remember I said to him, yo, why do you tell her everything? Like, what is going on? Why do you have to sleep? Like, why do you have to do that, right? And because I was feeling a certain kind of way. Because I'm like, I'm losing my baby to another woman, right? This is how I saw her. as the other woman.
Oh,
He told, he told me, he was like, well, why wouldn't I tell her everything? She's my best friend.
aw.
I'm like, I'm supposed to be your best friend. I was in my feelings. But I was like, yo, she's the one. I did it right. But it's like with mothers with sons, we have these relationships that there are always boundaries with my boys. Like I let them know from the beginning, I'm mom, not your friend. I'm not your little, how they say, I'm not your little friend. But I am your friend. I'm your mother first, but I'm your friend. I wanted that relationship where they can tell me stuff. And watching that, like people don't talk about the hardness of letting go. Each time one of my boys left and went to college or military or marriage or school, whatever they did, I like mourned when they left. I was done.
You had 3 kids that left. I had 7, girl. So imagine every year one leaving, one leaving.
No, parenting stages. I couldn't, because a part of you is going with them. And then you have to learn how to accept that. Okay, I did all I could. I gave them all the tools I had. Now pray to God that they use them correctly. Like that's the thing of parenting. You have the beginning. Moms, we have the beginning. Then it's that letting go, but not letting go. Does that make any sense?
Makes a lot of sense. I had to let go of 3 girls.
Was it easier to let go of the girls than it was the boys? I don't know.
No,
was it?
no,
Was it?
no, because my girls, my girls were in prison. So they were in prison.
They were locked
out. But here's the thing, my boys, they had way too much fun. These girls were chasing them and they made it hard. These girls were out of control and they made it hard for a girl. Let me tell you, I would leave, go around the corner, tell them I'll be gone for 2 hours. I come back and you got chicks jumping out the window.
No.
Listen, it was crazy. It was crazy. So my boys always had me hopping. Always had me hopping. They had the friends with back then weed was not legal. So they had the friends who would have the stash. Look, I took my boys. My kids were in prison. If they mad at me today, they got issues, I'll just have to pay for their therapy, leave it in my will, whatever, because they were in prison. I took my boys to the movie theater in Monticello. I would walk them in, buy their stuff, their popcorn, hot dogs, whatever, and leave and let them hang out with their friends and come back and get them because I wasn't giving them money to get into trouble with.
Ooh.
They was in prison.
Yes.
They was in prison. I was, so when people say, you're a woman, raising boys, and your point, right?
I found out, I keep finding out that most of my boys' friends, girls, some guys too, were terrified of me. I'm like, what?
How funny is that? Somebody terrified of
me. They was like, because you look so mean. But they're like, no, you're really nice. I'm like, I raised 3 boys. What was I? A mom to 3 boys.
Right. You had to have that stern front, because if not, they walk all over you.
Yeah, this is not a game.
Yeah. When we were talking about putting this together, right? I thought it was really cool. Let me stop playing. I'm trying not to have my glasses on, but I need to put them on.
But we're gonna have to show this one video like shortly. This video.
Okay. So I just wanted to talk about across the cultures of motherhood, right? And so in Africa, many African society, motherhood is deeply connected to the extended family structure.
Yes.
Where women share the responsibility of caring for the children. The concept of it takes a village to raise a child is embedded in many cultures, highlighting the communal nature of motherhood. So like in other countries, the mother plays different roles, right? So in the Latin American culture, the concept of derived from the Virgin Mary, emphasizes the moral superiority and self-sacrificing nature of mothers.
Mhm.
Celebrating Mother's Day is a cherished tradition, often involving large family gatherings. In the Middle East, mothers are revered as the cornerstone of the family, with a particular emphasis on fostering the values, traditions, and religion. East Asia culture, um, where mothers there are seen as crucial figures for instilling discipline and maintaining family harmony. And the Western culture, diverse family structures, including single parents, LGBTQIA families, are becoming more recognized, and the role of motherhood is evolving, which is evolving towards greater inclusivity. And I think that's really important that we keep those things in mind because we are evolving as a people, as a culture, as a nation, and we can't have those old concepts. My analogy is if you're talking to me with a bag phone and I got a smartphone, Houston, we don't have a connection.
But it's crazy though, listening to how all the different cultures view mothers. But we'll get to that after because I want to make sure I show this
Yeah,
last video.
everybody's video. Absolutely.
Yeah, this
Oh, the last video.
the
Okay.
last video. So this is the last video, and then we'll get back into our conversation. Here's the last submission. Once again, thank you all who took the time out of your busy day and schedule to be a part of Tea Time with Bunky on this special Mother's Day. So here's our last video for tonight.
Hello, my name is Tamika Harris, and I am from Sullivan County, New York, and I want to wish my mother, Elvia, a very special Happy Mother's Day. When I think of what you have added to my life, one of the main things is strength. You have taught me to be a strong woman. I am who I am because you are who you are, and you live your life in a way that is unapologetic, and it has taught me so much. I thank you. I love you. I pray that God blesses you and that you see his favor in the coming years, that the latter will be greater than your past. I love you, Mommy, so much. And I thank you for all that you've done for our family and for me. Happy Mother's Day.
That video, I want to thank Tamika for doing. Look, I have no tissues.
I know. I was crazy.
For those that don't know, right? That was beautiful. For those that don't know, Tamika's sister, I think this is year 6 this month, and her sister is missing. So her mother is going through something that is like unimaginable for some of us, and her mother's going through that. So our prayers are with that family, as they try to find answers and try to find anything about Shanice Harris. Yeah, that's her sister, her little sister who's missing. And Tamika is the mother, I think, of 5. Happy Mother's Day, Tamika. My Zumba instructor.
I love her. We had a great meeting. We had such a great, I've been meeting with a lot of young moms lately. Mm-hmm. And I just love hearing their side, their versions, how they handle things. And I was meeting with Naya the other day. She's a mom of 3.
Shout out to Naya. I met her at she did a women's empowerment brunch
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're going to be working on a few things together, but I love her energy, her spirit. And I have to tell you, if I was her age, because she just turned 26, 27 the other day, with 3 kids, I would jump off the roof somewhere today. I'm not cut out for that today. Right. And she just handles and does her thing. And she's just such a free spirit and creative mind.
She is free spirited.
Yeah, she's such a free spirit, creative mind.
But you know what, though? Mothers. I personally think at the younger age, it's easier. You can handle that. I mean, you could.
We're a whole lot more resilient then.
Oh my God.
We got to go on. But at this age, like I have a girlfriend who just took custody of her grandbaby, and she is a couple months older than me. So she's 58 and she's raising her grandson. I don't know that I'm cut out for that right now. So God bless her. She is a superhero to me
Mhm.
because I get out of breath going down the stairs, let alone trying to race some child around the house from putting something in a plug somewhere. Okay.
Oh God.
Let me tell you, Jazz was even so good with that. You know that? So whatever she does today doesn't matter to me because as a child, she
Mhm.
didn't open cabinets, she didn't put things in the socket. Wherever she sat, that's where she played and did her stuff. And she was so busy by herself. She was very independent. So I couldn't have been surprised that at age 17, she said, all right, well, I don't want you to worry about me, Ma. I know I keep you up all night. This is her negotiation with me. I know I keep you up all night because you know how you give them that speech. If you're not home by this time, I
But
can't.
it's true.
I'm worried about you. And she
Yeah.
kept me one day and she said, well, listen, I don't want you to worry about me and stay up all night. I'll be moving out. I was like, what?
What?
What? What? And I tried everything. I said, well, you can't take a car. Well, how am I get to school, Ma? Well, nobody better not drive it. Okay, Ma. Well, who's gonna pay for it? I tried everything. She just had an answer for everything. And moved on out at 17 before she graduated.
And I think that's something that girls do too, because boys don't.
They're
They
not
don't.
trying to leave. They want that meal.
Yeah,
Shoot.
well, mine, I had them cooking. They would cook for me, and that's why I'd be like, "Ain't you gonna cook dinner tonight?" Like you, you notice I ain't take nothing out for dinner. You ain't gonna take.
See, you raised them right. A lot
I
of men
mean,
can't cook.
but you know what? But for you mothers out there, young mothers, you need to teach your boys how to do laundry, how to clean up behind themselves. Mine ain't that good with cleaning up behind themselves. I'm be honest, but I think it's a boy thing most of the time.
It's a boy thing.
But they can cook. They can put together a meal. So I'd be like, please cook for me. Mom hasn't eaten in a couple of days. I need you to come and prepare me a meal. So yeah, so mothers, we have our perks when they get older. Yeah, and mine did do everything Jazz didn't do. They did. They pulled out all the pots and pans, and they tried to stick things in plugs. They did try to escape while I was sleeping. Yo, they put me through it. So every gray hair on my head,
one of their names is on it.
Oh my God, it's like whole patches, and this one is you, and this one is you, and whatever they traded. I thank God. I thank God that I'm blessed to be able to have children and bring them forth. And for those women who have unfortunately, thank you, Leslie. That mask, that damn mask. For those that unfortunately lost children, weren't able to carry them to full term. In my eyes, you're still a mother. Like I had this conversation with a young lady, and when I said Happy Mother's Day, she was like, "But I'm not a mother." You are. She had to deliver the baby. So you brought the baby. You're a mother. So I never want to take that away from anybody. You were able to conceive life. Nobody has a lapel mic. That's what I asked. Was there something I have no idea. It just wants to act up when it wants to. I mean, like all my stuff is powered off, unless it can't be my watch because I always got this on. But it doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. It's like almost over. But thank you. So, but it shows that you hear it. Shirley, before we go, see, you're moving. So I'm thinking it's connected to you. I don't know. But before we go, either way, Shirley, before we go, do you have any closing words? Anything you want to say to the mothers out there before I do my thing?
Yeah. I prepared this closing. We do a lot of go with the flow, but I prepared this closing because Mother's Day is extremely serious. And Father's Day is too, but right now we're talking about Mother's Day. So being a mother or mother figure doesn't come with a manual or a set of plans. We rely on instinct and experience to love, nurture, teach, and guide. We're not perfect. Mistakes will happen, and misunderstandings are inevitable because there are still rules and guidelines. While times are changing, respect, honor, and manners remain foundational pillars. We owe it to our children to instill these values and help them navigate the world with kindness and integrity. No matter what, let's not stray from these principles. Yet we understand there are situations that sometimes go beyond the rules or defy explanation. In those moments, we come together, we laugh, we learn, and we love a little deeper. That's when the saying, it takes a community, truly gains meaning. And you know what? That's for another conversation, though. That's for another show. The ones that defy, what it should be as a mother. But I am grateful that you. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. I am grateful that you invited me to this, and I did forget in the beginning to say Happy Mother's Day to my daughter Alexis, my niece Sandy that I raised, and I already said Happy Mother's Day to Jasmine. And I'm grateful. I never wanted to be a mother, but I'm glad that God didn't listen to me.
Right.
And that he gave me at least one double-edged sword. Yeah, he gave me a double-edged sword. I love her, and on other days I want to choke her, but she is the best thing that ever happened to me because she had children as well, and it continues our legacy, our lineage, and she's got another mini me, and I love it.
Well, see, that's what we do. We tell God what we don't want, and He give it to us. We're like, now I'm gonna really give it to you.
He's like, oh, you think you're the boss around here?
Right? You think you want to stuff? So, and once again, I would like to wish a happy Mother's Day to all of my. Look, let me do the list so nobody look. I'm not naming names because just too many. To my mother, to my stepmother, to my daughter-in-law, to my daughter's mom, to my aunts, my sisters, my cousins, my friends, all the ladies in my life, all the ladies of the world. I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day from Tea Time with Bunky. In some way, shape, or form, you've all molded me into the mother that I am today, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. Hopefully, I've been that example to some of my younger little cousins and sisters, because my sister tells me that now. She's like, when I be yelling, I just hear you. Yup. Because I was the first sister with the kids, and now they getting it back. God is good, won't He do it? So yes, happy Mother's Day to all of my sisters, to everyone. You guys, I can't tell you. No, that's a whole nother conversation. So I'm not even going to say that. Happy Mother's Day. You ladies go out there and treat yourself to something special. Do something for you that you want to do this Mother's Day. And continue to tune in to Tea Time with Bunky, where you can catch me live every Thursday on Facebook and Instagram. Happy Mother's Day, Leslie. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and you can catch me down. Just download the VGN app, which is free, you guys. Village Global Network app, and you can hear me on Thursdays at 8 a.m. on Culture Shock Radio, Rockbox Radio, Radio Facero, WAP the Music. Sundays at 12 p.m. on Confidence Radio. This show airs in 192 countries. God is good, won't He do it? And remember, Tea Time with Bunky, if you're looking for an enlightening discussion, empowering stories, and dialogues you've been longing to hear, Tea Time with Bunky is a place to be. So remember to tell a friend, like, share, follow, and subscribe. So you all have a wonderful rest of your night, and I will see you next week live. Different conversation, different topic. You'll see the announcement. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. I appreciate you.